Good morning. It is Sunday, August the 24th. Is it 7? 7 a.m. Good morning. Good morning. I just finished the live video in my group, which is called Sanctuary, my group Wellness Coven Circle. And this is so huge. This is such a big freaking deal that I definitely don't want to gatekeep any information, because if you've ever been to my website and you've been to my resource library, everything that you need is there. Everything that you need to create a Chat GPT coach or become your own coach is there in that library. You don't need to hire anyone, okay? But this was huge, and I absolutely had to share it with you. So this month in our group, in my group portal with all of my clients, we're focused on gut health. And so this very last portion of the month, this is all about sleep and how imperative sleep is for whatever wellness, whatever part you are in with your wellness journey. So your body, well, other than, I would say, breath, water, I would say sleep is the next biggest tool in your toolbox for wellness, even before nutrition, even before working out. Because without getting into deep, quality, restorative sleep, your body can't function and your gut can't do its job. So you're in a state of, constantly in a state of systemic inflammation. So for those of you that's trying to gain muscle mass, good luck with that if you're not sleeping, because the majority of your growth hormone is released during sleep. Almost all, and it might be all, of your muscle repair work is done when you're sleeping. I do believe that it is done when you're sleeping. It's your eating and passive recovery or active recovery while you're awake sets the groundwork for it, but sleep does the job. Now, with my folks that are trying to gain muscle mass, that's a long-term goal. That's a long range. So you're not going to see the results of that for a bit, okay? But my folks that's dealing with inflammatory issues, aside from body recomposition, you're going to see results immediate, like the day after a good sleep. My folks that are working with body recomposition, where you're dropping body fat, you will see results immediately. Unlike the muscle gain folks, you will see results immediately when you're able to get your inflammation and your gut health under control by sleeping. Okay? Now there's so much information about sleep. Please go to my resource library on my website. There's so much information. There's so many sleep studies on there, and you can do a deep dive and see what information applies to you. But what I'm going to challenge you to do, the reason I said that is because there's so many different reasons why you might not be sleeping. Okay, so what I have done is I have taken, and I'm going to put this. This is already in my resource library. I put it there last night for everyone. You do not have to be a client of mine to get this. Okay, I would love for you to be a client, but you do not have to be a client to get this. I'm also going to put this in the live comments. So this right here are 10 sleep anchors. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to read through this list, and I want you to intuitively, with your gut health, I want you to intuitively choose 2 that really call to you right now. Okay, you're like, I'm not really feeling number 1, but something about that number 5 is making everything go off. Okay, so I want you to intuitively choose just 2. We want to be sure that we set those goals small And we make SMART goals, y'all. We make them measurable. We've got a tracker. We make them, are you actually able to do them, or is it something that you can do? Reasonable, am I able to do this, and timely? Okay, when am I going to take action on this? Okay, so I want you to choose 2. That's going to build self-efficacy, because we can accomplish 2. You can accomplish 2. Now, doing all 10 in 1 week might be troublesome. Okay, I would actually discourage you from that. But I want you to pick 2. Once you get those 2, you can add on the next week. And then in no time at all, you've got all 10 covered. But choose 2. Choose how you're going to do them. And then start tracking them. The tracking is huge. Because I'm going to use this as an example, and it seems rather common sense and rather silly, but if you go to my resource library, how do you think all that information got there? Studies. People set goals, they applied them in a very structured way and tracked the data consistently. Now, some studies are better than others, but we have studies. That's science. Experiment, tracking, pivot, reevaluate, reflect. But without tracking it, and without being and even tracking whether you're consistent or not, gives you feedback. Because then you know that you've got a discipline, a sacred devotion issue. Okay? So pick 2 anchors on here, track for the week, and send me your comments, send me your questions. I would love that. So let's do some intuition really quick, okay? So I have not read over these 10 since I made the list. So I want you to pick some numbers, pick 2 numbers. What 2 numbers are your numbers? So I'm getting the number 2, and I'm getting the number 8. Okay, I'm getting number 2 and the number 8. So let's see what number 2 is. Number 2, oh, that's probably my favorite. I actually do this most nights, and it works for me. It works for most of my clients too. Now, this is water. This is my morning water. But to have a nighttime tea. So I think everybody in the mama knows not to be having caffeine like after 10, 11 a.m. Cut the caffeine, because after that, the caffeine is still in your system when you're trying to go to sleep. Now, if you're one of those people that's like, I can drink coffee on up until I go to bed and I can still fall asleep. Well, the quality of your sleep is crap. Not saying that you can't fall asleep, but if you can still fall asleep after drinking caffeine, that is a surefire sign that your adrenals are shot. That you are actually addicted to caffeine. And you've gotten to, like, you have a really high tolerance for caffeine, and that is not good. That is not good. It actually shrinks your brain. So if you're one of those people that say that, you are the one that needs to start working on caffeine. But let's go back. So number 2 would be a nightcap tea that does not have chamomile in it. Does not have caffeine in it. So you got your chamomile, your ginger, your tulsi. I love holy basil. And for my clients, I always recommend golden milk. I would look up the recipe. I do believe it's in my resource library. It's all over the internet. Golden milk is one of my absolute faves because it's anti-inflammatory and will knock you out. Okay. So what's number 8? This one's great. This is great. I started doing this, and for my clients, I recommend this. Is a gentle stretch. We would call this more yin postures. It's more flow. We're not trying to get our heart rate up. We're just trying to let it go frozen. So 5 to 10 minutes. Actually, one thing that I ask almost all of my clients to do, actually saw someone at the gym the other day doing it, is legs up the wall. You're laying on your back, and you put your legs up the wall. That position immediately starts to shift your central nervous system. It actually starts to shut it down. Well, not shut it down, but lower it, and you start to shift into your parasympathetic nervous system, and that is your calm, your relaxation. And what is so neat is when you do that, you feel the shift immediately. If you have problems with anxiety or panic attacks, that's one of the very first things that I do, and one of the first things that I instruct my clients to do, legs up the wall. So that is perfect. So those are two really magical anchors. Okay, that these routines at night at a certain time, because you want to be in bed ready for sleep by 10:30. Once you get into 11 and 12 o'clock, the circadian rhythm, the things that happen internally in your body at that time, you don't want to miss those. Your body's on a schedule, okay? And I don't want to hear, I've been doing it this way for years. Well, why don't you just try, experiment? And if you have things in your life that aren't working, isn't that the definition of insanity? You keep doing the same thing and getting the same result, yet you want something different. And here's your different. Okay, other than air and water, I would say sleep, rest is number 3 for absolutely must-haves for tools in your toolbox for wellness. Okay, so these are absolutely incredible anchors. Your anchors are your non-negotiable. You know when you hit these, everything else is okay. You've done what you needed to do, and this sets your body up for a sleep ritual. Lets your brain know, your monkey mind chatter, that you're ready to go to bed. Track, and set a time do like a midweek check-in and an end of the week check-in, and see how you're doing on your sleep. Write down how you're feeling. Write down maybe any dreams. Put it in your planner. My Google Calendar is pulled up here. Make it an alarm on your Fitbit or your phone that reminds you, okay, 7:30, I'm preparing my tea, my devices are shut down, and at 8 o'clock after my tea, I'm going to do a little bedtime yoga. There's fabulous videos for that. I'm going to put my legs up the wall. 9 or 9:30, I am crawling into bed. Now, for you all that do shift work, you're going to have to adjust your time. Your circadian rhythm is already thrown off, and I got you. If you go to my resource library, free, my resource library has sleep information on there for people who have, fluctuating schedules where they are having to go against Mother Nature. They're having to go against the circadian rhythm because, their responsibilities or life calls for them to. If you're traveling, your circadian rhythm is going to get, all wackadoodle. So go to the resource library, look up the information there on sleep, track here. Let me know how you feel, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. You will find that you are able to connect deeper in your prayer time or your meditation time when your body is not so inflamed. You can be checking all the boxes during the day, doing all the things that you're supposed to be doing, having that anti-inflammatory diet, drinking your water, working out, getting sunlight. You can be checking all those boxes. But if you're not resting, inflammation is in your way. Inflammation. Big old gremlin. All right, loves. I want you to have such a blessed day. I am sending so much love. My affirmation water here. I'm sending you all the good vibes.